A lot of verbs in English have a simple, straightforward equivalent in Portuguese. How do you say to speak? Falar. How do you say to eat? Comer. With some verbs, you might have several different options. For example, to think could be translated as achar, pensar, or acreditar, depending on context. But there's one English verb that has not just a few or even a handful of possible Portuguese translations, but literally dozens of them. And that is the verb to get. This is probably the hardest verb to translate because in English, we use get for everything. We say that we got an email, got a new car, got a job, got married, got sick, all with completely different meanings. But in Portuguese, there's no one simple verb that we can just plug in here to translate get. We would actually need to use a different verb in each one of these cases. And these examples are just barely scratching the surface. Now, to understand how to translate to get into Portuguese, it helps to reframe the question and ask ourselves, what is it that we're really trying to say when we use to get in English? For example, when we say that we got an email, what we're really saying is that we received an email. When we say that we're getting old, we're saying that we're becoming old. And so that's the first step, thinking more in terms of the underlying idea that you're trying to convey rather than just thinking, how do I translate get? So let's take a look at 13 common ways that get is used in English and see how we could express it in Portuguese. One way that it's used is in the sense of becoming, where there's a change in state that's being implied. For example, in English, we say that we get worried or get famous in the sense of becoming worried or becoming famous. In Portuguese, the verb ficar usually works well to express this idea. Ficar can be used to describe changes in emotional states like ficar triste, get sad,
E aí ele ficou meio que triste, né? Porque ninguém acreditou que eu era o pai dele.
physical states as in ficar cansado, get tired, as well as changes in status as in ficar rico, get rich. Another way we use get is in the sense of obtaining something. A Portuguese verb that goes well in a lot of these situations is conseguir. Get a new job would be conseguir novo emprego. Get tickets for like an event, conseguir ingressos. Get is also used to mean receive, as in get an email or get a letter. In these cases, you could use receber. Receber e-mail
Esses dias eu recebi um e-mail de um pessoal da Jovem Pan.
or receber uma carta. The next use of get is when we use it to mean grab. In Portuguese, the verb pegar often fits nicely in these cases. For example, if a Brazilian has you over for dinner, they might encourage you to grab some more food by saying, pega mais, get some more. If you want to say that you're going to go get your keys, as in go grab them, you'd say, vou pegar as chaves. Now, pegar can also be used to mean get in the sense of catch. So you could pegar uma bola, get a ball, or pegar uma gripe, get the flu. You could also use pegar to say get as in pick up. To say that you're going to go get your friend at the airport, vou pegar meu amigo no aeroporto. In this case, you could also use buscar. Vou buscar meu amigo. Another common situation where get is used is when you're ordering at a restaurant or want to ask the waiter to bring you something. Can I get a sandwich? Can I get another fork? Etc. A really handy phrase in these types of situations is me vê. If you want to order a coffee, me vê café, por favor. If you want to ask for a napkin, me vê guardanapo, por favor.
Me vê café, por favor. Me vê pastel, por favor.
Now, get is also used with the past participle in passive voice constructions like I got invited or my flight got delayed. In Portuguese, you can often express this with the verb ser plus the past participle. The event got canceled. O evento foi cancelado. I got chosen. Fui escolhido. We also use get in the sense of arriving, as in I got here yesterday. In this case, you'd use chegar. To get home would be chegar em casa. It can also be used in a figurative sense, like chegar longe na vida, to get far in life.
Eu jamais pude acreditar que um dia eu fosse chegar tão longe.
A lot of times when we say that we got something, we're really saying that we bought it, like I got a new car or I got a new watch. Here, we could just use comprar. I got new shoes. Comprei sapatos novos. To say that you got something as a gift, you could use ganhar. I got a watch from my dad. Eu ganhei relógio do meu pai. Next, you have get to mean understand, as in I didn't get the joke. In this case, you'd use entender. Não entendi a piada. And then there's the get as another way of saying convince, as in my friend got me to come. Here you could use convencer. Meu amigo me convenceu a vir. Now, I could keep going on for days. How do you say get the door? Atender a porta. Get in touch? Entrar em contato. Get married? Casar-se. But the purpose of all this isn't to teach you all the possible translations of get. What I really want you to take away from this video is that 1, translating get can be really tricky because there is no one exact equivalent in Portuguese. And 2, you want to think more in terms of the context and underlying message that you're trying to convey, rather than just translating individual words. I hope you got value out of this video. If you did, please give it a like. And if you want to learn how to conjugate all the verbs that we just covered in this video, check out my Portuguese verb conjugation crash course next. Obrigado.